Now hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another SwissRacer1 video. In today's video, let's talk about something very interesting, and that is the 3 best flight simulators for mobile. Yeah, you know, there's been quite a lot of releases, a lot of updates recently on new flight simulators for Android and iOS. And today I thought I could make somewhat of an overview of all of them and kind of give you guys a rating, like which one do I find is the best. So let's just dive right in. Now, number 3 is going to be Infinite Flight. Yeah, pretty much one of the classics, I guess. Now, welcome back to Infinite Flight. I haven't visited this app in a while now. Now, yes, this one is my number 3 rating. You can get this one for iOS and Android. It costs $5 on the App Store or Google Play Store, if you will. And that core app comes with a limited airport selection and some planes, but no multiplayer, which is, by the way, this simulator's main feature, I would say. But to get the full experience of this flight simulator, you can get a pro sub for around $10 a month, which is a little pricey, I don't know. But then at least you will unlock all the features that this flight simulator can give you. Alright, so that is pricing. Now, I've already scratched a little bit on the multiplayer that this flight simulator has. It is phenomenal. Let's maybe check out the aircraft selection. There's a lot of planes and a lot of good ones. They keep pushing out new planes, just like the recently released 777-200. As you can see, June 2020. There's pretty much planes for everyone, you know, starting with, I don't know, CRJs to TBMs or even X-Cubs, which is actually pretty cool. But there's also quite a selection of military planes, which is also nice. But let's actually go for the most modern plane, the 777-200ER. This is pretty cool. Now, another very big feature of this flight simulator is the global flying. Yes, you can actually fly globally here. You have any airport in this flight simulator that you have in real life. Let's just pick a random location. What do we have here? Henderson Field, somewhere in Hawaii or something, but we cannot spawn our 777 here because this is too small, so that's kind of disappointing, huh? Let's actually go for Honolulu. I guess that's a little bit more of a suitable place for the 777. All right, this is, by the way, the new update. We have a very nice gate selection here. You know what, let's actually not use the online mode. But yeah, let's finally hop into the plane, am I right? All right, welcome aboard the 777-200ER in Infinite Flight. As you can see, the graphics, they are, well, what can we say? They're mediocre, I guess. I mean, you know, actually looking at the whole picture, the satellite scenery that we do actually have here in the flight simulator is not in a very high resolution. It's not that good, but it's actually all right. It's not that bad either. But something that is really not good is the lack of 3D buildings or perhaps 3D objects here in the flight simulator. This is like flat land here on the airport, which is actually not that good. Also, you don't have any clouds or particles or rain or anything, so they definitely stripped down a little bit here on the graphics, which is not that good, but that's only cosmetics, I guess, so that's okay. Something else that I don't really like here about the flight simulator is that you don't have any interactive cockpit. That's also something that they just left out, maybe because a phone cannot simply handle something like that, but come on, an iPhone 11 Pro or maybe even an iPad Pro or whatever Android equivalent is there to that can handle quite a little bit more like a load, right? But I don't know about that. I'm not a developer. We're lacking quite a little bit of realism here, I would say. I mean, the only like in-flight systems that we can really use is the APU and the main battery. That's kind of it. You know, plane has tons of knobs that you can use. In this flight simulator, you do not. You literally have an engine start switch and an APU switch and a main battery switch. This is like the main point that I don't really like about this flight simulator, but whatever, let's just do some flying. Let's try landing this plane. Oh, we're really on short final now. I haven't landed a plane with my phone in a while, so this can be interesting. Alright. Oh, that was not a good landing, huh? It is quite a different feeling, because in a normal plane, you either like push or pull. In this case, you tilt your phone, obviously. But it does work quite well. That was quite a nice flight. Actually, if you want to, you can connect your joystick with the flight simulator, even though it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to set up. But it works. That's just a side note, really. But let's actually try some other planes as well. I don't know. I feel like flying the TBM to Lukla. I don't know. Let's just discover the world a little bit. Alright, so this is what Lukla looks like. Let me just show a picture of what it looks like in real life. I mean, that's what you have when you try to include 30,000 airports in your flight simulator. It's very hard to get things like that realistic. There we go. Let's go ahead and land the TBM down here. Oh my God, that's gonna be a bad landing. Alright. Oh God, we might not actually stop. That's bad. Alright, that was a solid crash. I, for some reason, didn't use the brakes properly. But this was kind of fun anyway, wasn't it? So what can we say about Infinite Flight Simulator? It is quite good. It has quite a lot of strengths, especially the multiplayer is fun when you like want to play with your friends. That can like be anywhere around the world. It doesn't matter. That's like the cool thing. The multiplayer is probably like the best multiplayer that there is for any flight sim, really. Even the desktop ones, they cannot keep up with this one, really. You know, there's also ATCs, there's events, there's like an actual community hub for this flight simulator for, you know, flights and virtual airlines. That really does work well. So that is really nice. That is like a big strength of this flight simulator, even though again it is lacking quite a little bit of features, which is why I probably wouldn't use this flight simulator all the time. I would probably, you know, do some, you know, discovering the world with this one when I'm on the train or something, I don't know, or on a plane perhaps while flying. That's probably hardcore. But no, actually this is not bad. Especially flying in the mountains is quite nice. So that is Infinite Flight, number 3 on the list. Let's move on to number 2. Now, number 2 on the list is, of course, Aerofly FS 2020. A lot of people say that it should be number 1. I do not necessarily agree with it, but whatever. This flight simulator is also available for Android and iOS. The core app costs around $10, but that's most probably all you will spend on this app, which is pretty good. So that is pricing. This flight simulator isn't necessarily expensive. And also, it's available for both platforms, which is pretty cool. Now, where do we begin? We have a flight school here, but no one cares about flight school, honestly. Like, honestly, flight schools and flight simulators are like the most useless thing ever, but whatever, let's just go to the aircraft compartment, because there's a lot of aircraft, of a lot of types, actually. Now, we have Cessnas, King Air, some retro planes, like very vintage. We have an Extra, which is very extra. We have quite a lot of military planes as well, that's pretty cool. We have a Learjet, and we actually do have normal civilian passenger planes, and even a helicopter, and even a glider as well, which is pretty cool. But we also have planes like an A380 or a 737, I guess, and a 777 as well. But let's just go basic Cessna 172 SP. Now here we can pick our spawn location, and by the way, the location thing is probably this flight simulator's biggest weakness. Unlike all the other flight simulators in this video, yes, even number 1, of course, this flight simulator does not have global flying. We can only fly in the southwest of America, kind of like California, Arizona, Nevada, maybe Utah as well, and Colorado. That's pretty much it. You can also buy an add-on for the whole of Switzerland so that you can fly in there, which is actually pretty cool. Let's check that out later on, but that's pretty much all for the location. If you only want to fly in the southwest of the US or perhaps in Switzerland as well, you can definitely do that, because they may not have a lot of regions, but the regions that they do have look spectacular. Where should we go though? You know what? Let's actually go to Half Moon Bay. Do they have that here? Of course they do. We checked that airport out not too long ago. Let's just go ahead and start flying. Now, we are inside of the flight simulator. Now, yes, this flight simulator probably has the best graphics out of all the flight simulators in today's video, but for some reason I cannot hear any sound. Is that normal? I've always had some issues with sound being like very, very low volume here in the flight simulator. Maybe in the editing we can fix that a little bit. Now, welcome aboard the Cessna 172 in California. Let's actually go and take off. As you can see right here, this cockpit is very, very nice. For example, all the instruments, they work just like they should do in the normal plane. And actually, all the stuff here is usable by hand. For example, we can pull the mixture, which we probably shouldn't have done. That was not that good of an idea. Come on, there we go. It's back in. The engine is back up running. That's pretty cool. All right. So yes, indeed, all the cockpits here in the flight simulator are totally usable, which is very nice. All right. Meanwhile, we're flying. The satellite scenery that we do have here is pretty damn good, especially for mobile standards. This is probably a 15 pixel resolution for satellite scenery, which is actually not that bad. So that is all pretty cool. Now we're just flying along the ocean. Let's maybe check out a bigger plane. How about a 777? Let's actually go to Switzerland now. Can we do that? How do we do that? I've already downloaded the package, so I guess we're just gonna have to scroll across the Atlantic, and there we go. We have Switzerland. Okay. Let's actually go to the place where I'm actually at in real life. I'm on vacation right now, which is, you know, why I'm recording this on my phone. Let's go ahead and spawn going into this airport. Something that you do, by the way, also have is clouds and pretty realistic weather simulation, which Infinite Flight didn't have, for example. All right. Oh, wow. This actually looks very good. I'm kind of blown away. I mean, something that we do not have here is trees, because these take away a lot of like VRAM here in the graphics card, and the plane does not have a graphics card as far as I know. But honestly, this looks really much like real life. I'm not gonna lie. Like, honestly, this is pretty good. Let's go ahead and get into the cockpit, which is, by the way, also fully usable. I don't know how to. It takes a little bit of a while to figure out how to like scroll these knobs here with your thumb, but you know, I'll figure it out eventually. Whatever, let's just go ahead and take off. This is not the longest runway, which is why this is going to be very interesting. Oh yeah, now we can definitely hear sound though. That's pretty good. We're looking good. This plane is accelerating quite a bit. Oh, actually, correction, the Switzerland package costs like 99 cents, which is not too bad. And yeah, that's kind of like an add-on for this flight simulator that does not have a lot of, you know, regions to choose from. It's really cool that they do have Switzerland though. And there we go. We pretty much used the whole 1500 meter long runway of Samaden, but whatever, this was successful enough, I guess. And there we go. We can just put the gear back in. This actually looks a lot better than the California scenery. Let's go up by a few feet. There we go. This looks very nice. Honestly, good work there, definitely. So yeah, the simulator is pretty good. It has good graphics. It has very realistic planes, pretty realistic like physics, I guess. We have clouds and rain and particles and stuff. Yeah, this is actually kind of the opposite of Infinite Flight, which was number 3, because this flight simulator, it does have all these good things, but it doesn't have multiplayer or global. So if these two flight simulators merged together to make one, it would be a perfect one, which is where number 1 comes into play. That was like a very, very smooth segue. Of course, number 1 has got to be X-Plane 10 Mobile. Yeah, we all know the infamous X-Plane 11 flight simulator. For a while now, there has been X-Plane 10 for mobile, but they have improved this one a lot. So let me just show you that one to you. Now, just like the other flight simulators, with the exception of Infinite Flight, we have a very boring flight school. No one needs that. Challenges, no one needs that either. Let's just go for a free flight. By the way, I forgot to talk about pricing. It is actually very underwhelming, quite literally. This flight simulator, it doesn't cost anything. This is a free-to-play thing for Android and iOS. But just like Infinite Flight, there's a pro sub that allows you to play multiplayer global and use all planes, but you have to pay for the pro sub. The plane selection is very good. We have just, again, quite a lot of types of planes, which is actually pretty good. All these mobile flight simulators, they have quite a variety. You know, you cannot just download add-on planes, which is something you could do like on FSX or X-Plane 11, right? So it's good that there's a lot of, you know, selection. Which one should we go for? Let's go for the 737-800. All right, and a brand new feature, by the way, is the global flying feature. Yes, you can fly at any place around the world again, just like Infinite Flight or, oh yeah, it's only Infinite Flight. Aeroflight didn't have that one. And yeah, we do actually have any airport that we want. Let's go to this one. I was flying at this place recently. It wasn't very fun because of the weather. Talking about weather, I'm really good at segues today. We have very, very realistic weather simulation. We have clouds, winds as well, if we want to. We have full control of the weather. Let's just go for a very much of a crosswind, because that's what I was experiencing at this airport lately. Let's go for some turbulence as well. We have a lot of options, as we can also obviously pick time, but that's not that spectacular. Something that this flight simulator also has is failures, which is pretty cool as well. I haven't seen that on any other mobile flight simulator so far, so that's pretty good. Oh, engine fire is turned on. That's not good. But other than that, our 737-800 is totally functional. So let's just go and fly this one. Actually, I have downloaded this flight simulator for the first time for this video. So I'm loading this up for the first time. So, oh wow, that's just why it's taking a while. All right. I think it's actually using mobile data for this one, but all right. I have unlimited mobile data. I don't mean to flex, but I do. All right. Welcome to the small island of Borkum. It really kind of sucks. There isn't a lot of scenery here, but this looks pretty good anyway. Oh, we have a lot of clouds here though. All right. Maybe a little bit too much clouds for the demonstration of this flight simulator, but whatever. This is what this looks like. Actually, this is pretty solid, honestly. This is not satellite scenery. This is the normal X-Plane scenery that you have, or FSX perhaps. But whatever, we don't need all of that. We are just greeted with our beautiful 737 making a beautiful 737 jet engine sounds. Just like Aerofly FS 2020, by the way, this is a fully usable cockpit. We can use pretty much any knob that we need for flying, even this. There's even a fully functional FMS. Yes, a flight management computer. That is pretty amazing, isn't it? What else do we have here? We can have pushback services, but we don't probably need this because we are on the runway already. Let's just go ahead and take off. Oh yeah, the takeoff warning is coming up because I didn't have any flaps set, but whatever, we're gonna die on this takeoff anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, we're coming off the runway very much. The crosswind is not in favor, really. Actually, this is tailwind now, but whatever. This was a mediocrely successful takeoff, and while we are at it, let's admire the graphics of this flight simulator. It really isn't bad, really. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, you have to consider we have global flying here, right? We can fly to any place around the world. You know what? While we are at it, let's actually check out the multiplayer as well, which we have. Let's see which airport has quite a lot of players. All right, now we can see real-time players. You know, these are all around the world, which is really cool. Again, if you want to like fly with your friends, if you have any, and especially if you have friends that are into planes, which I probably don't think, because no one likes planes apparently these days. Let's go to, is that Paris Charles something French? See, that's kind of like this thing about this flight simulator. It kind of is, after all, a mix out of Infinite Flight, you know, with its global and multiplayer flying abilities, and Aerofly with its pretty good graphics and realism. Right now, the flight simulator is downloading the world of Paris, I guess. Kind of like have to download all the rats that you can find at Paris, because Paris can be quite a disgusting place, am I right? All right, so welcome to French or something. I was not grammatically correct. Whatever. We're here. This is pretty cool. Where's the other plane that we could see on the map? Yeah, here we go. You can just pull up the map and you can see the other plane. Should be somewhere on the ramp as well. We should be able to find it. Oh, there we go. It's actually taxiing along in an A320 owned by US Airways. I don't know what a US Airways A320 is doing here at Paris Charles de Gaulle in 2020, because I mean, you know, it's been dead for like 5 years. It's actually taxiing at quite a speed, but as you can see, multiplayer actually works as well. So that is like a very big bonus point. The graphics may not be as good as Aerofly, though they're actually pretty fine as well, but this is pretty cool. Now, as always, I like to perform a landing in the flight simulator just to check my flying skills. Let's try not losing any confidence here. All right, welcome to Paris again. All right, in front of us, we actually already have the runway. Let's get ready for landing then. Put the landing gear down. The flaps are ready. We just need to smoothly land this plane down on the runway. Am I right? That's actually going to be a very big challenge. Actually, this flight simulator is like a very decent package. I mean, just, you know, look at the lighting as well. It's all there. You cannot really compare this flight simulator to like Infinite Flight. It's quite another level. But there we go. Let's actually go ahead and get this plane landed first. This is a really bad landing. Jesus Christ. Let me just mention that I know how to fly a real plane, so no worries about my skills here. Let's just try getting stopped. So what can we say about the 3 best flight simulators that there are for mobile? They're actually pretty interesting. They're getting better and better each and every year because, you know, phones are getting more and more powerful each and every year as well. So I'm really looking forward to the future. I think this is a very interesting market as well, like the mobile flight simulator market. It is very attractive because obviously not everyone has a gaming PC, and, you know, having a fully fledged flight simulator in your pocket can be very amazing. By the way, I would probably recommend downloading all of them. I mean, they're not super expensive, right? And testing out which one's the best for you. Obviously, Infinite Flight is more like casual arcade flying, and X-Plane 10 is quite a little bit more advanced when it comes to realism. But yeah, these are, at least in my opinion, the best flight simulators for mobile. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night.